ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the CD Racoola Show. Today we will be reviewing the newest film to hit Netflix, Day Shift. This film I found to be more of an action/comedy film than true horror. But it was all about killing and hunting us poor little vampires, so I figured I would go ahead and review it anyway. Just because I don't consider it to be a true blue horror film doesn't mean that I didn't like it. Quite on the contrary. I did certainly enjoy aspects of this film that made it different from the huge selection of vampire films out there. If you have seen the CD Racoola Show before, then you know that if there is one thing that I love, and yes, I'm being very biased, but I love reviewing vampire horror films. Now, this film doesn't crack my top 3 vampire films of all time. Heck, not even my top 20, maybe even 50. But I did definitely think it was still a fun ride and a fresh take on the vampire hunter himself. I'll get to that later on, but I guess I'll go ahead and give up my top 3 favorite vampire films of all time. I might as well, since we are here, and I just love to hear myself talk. Number 1 is the 1931 Dracula film with Bela Lugosi. I'm always a sucker for the original, no doubt about that. Number 2 on old CD's favorite list is the 1992 film Bram Stoker's Dracula. I really need to do a throwback review on that film. It had such a tasty little cast with Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder, gotta love her, and speaking of Winona, don't forget to check out my review of Stranger Things. Get on it, baby. Gary Oldman and Anthony Hopkins, who has been in just a ton of great horror films. Before I dig my teeth back into Day Shift, here, I'll give you my third, which will maybe throw a monkey wrench at you. But I really like the film 30 Days of Night. Just a cool concept. I think I may have talked about this film in one of my first reviews. But anywho, comment down below on your favorite vampire horror film. And please, pretty please, with a shrunken head on top, don't mention the movie that shall not be named. But I'll give you a hint. The vampires sparkle in the sun. That movie isn't vampire horror! I have to watch my blood pressure. I just have strong feelings when it comes to horror, and I feel icky just thinking about that film, and not in a good way either. The film that shall not be named. Okay, let's get that taste out of my mouth and get back to Day Shift, shall we? Let's chat about the cast first. Jamie Foxx, hello. I like Jamie Foxx. He always seems like he's being either cocky or being angry, but either way, it just works for him. I never really thought of him as a vampire hunter, or even being in the whole realm as an actor, really. He always seems to play an action guy. But this film does have quite a lot of shoot-'em-up action for those radical action bros out there. So I guess Mr. Fox fit the bill in that regard. He did pretty well. I wouldn't mind seeing him do more in the horror realm in the future. Dave Franco was in this film, who played Jamie Foxx's character's kind of nerdy sidekick with a heart of gold or whatever. Anyway, Carla Souza, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but she played the big baddie vampire and did a very admirable job. I went through all of the cast just to get to my favorite member of the cast, Snoop Dogg, who plays kind of a cowboy vampire killing character. At one point he even has a Gatling gun. I definitely love me some Snoop-a-Loop. And believe it or not, Snoop Diggity Dogg actually is not a stranger to horror film. If you remember the film Bones, it features Snoop, or even Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror. What an instant classic that was. If you guys want to count Scary Movie 5, he was also in that. I wouldn't count it, but you certainly can if you feel that you have to. This film got me intrigued in the way it turned vampire hunting into more of like a normal job, I guess you could say, with pensions, medical benefits, an office, co-workers, a boss, like a terrible boss, and a secretary, the whole 9 yards. It reminded me a little of the John Wick films in that it kind of had a secret underground society of people who in John Wick movies kill other people, but in Day Shift's case they kill vampires. Unfortunately, they would be killing me. There were definitely plenty of vampire kill scenes in the film, and they were okay if you ask me, but a little bit too much shooting and like wrestling around. I'm a vampire, and I'll go ahead and tell you that I'm not jumping around doing jujitsu on people. It's just not happening. Also, lots and lots of shooting, and maybe that works with werewolves, but I prefer the old sunlight trick or the snake to the heart trick. I don't need a bunch of modern weapons thrown in there. This isn't the Expendables, you know. Too much shooting and not enough mauling, clawing, biting, or tearing for me, you know. All in all, this film didn't 100% tickle my little fancy, but I did think it was a neat ride and a fresh take on vampire hunting. And it had a fun little cast that definitely makes it worth the watch. I would definitely watch a Day Shift 2. If it came about on Netflix, but it's not something I'm going to rush out and watch in theaters, you know. But on Netflix, for sure, I'm in. Count me in, baby. I would like to thank you for joining me here on the CD Racoola Show, and if you could like, share, and subscribe to the show, that would be so bloody cool of you. And please join us next episode when I rage against the dying of the light, when I review the game Dying Light 2. Remember this, my little succulent blood bags out there, that monsters love to hide under your bed, in your closet, under your stairs, and of course down in your basement. But the scariest monsters will always reside in the deepest, darkest corners of your wretched little minds. Till next time, cheers and toodaloo.